Beep, 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 beep. Transgender nutters stick their oar in. This is glorious. The most obscure thing I'd found where the trans nutter cult had invaded and caused trouble, the most obscure thing I found was a small gardening group online where they devastated it with their trans nonsense, right? The QT nutters, okay? But here we've got something going on that's really great. It just amused me and I don't know why. QT nutters stick their oar in. I did laugh. Henley trans fears as umpires told, keep quiet on gender. Officials told not to question gender of any junior crews, sparking concerns that the race could be vulnerable to exploitation. Now, that's rowing. This is about rowing. I can't just... Row, row, row your boat. Gender down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Anyway, right, so this is it. Rowing. Rowing umpires. Oh, I can't. It was just... The Telegraph's got a brilliant way of writing. Really silly bloody articles that make me laugh. Rowing umpires are in uproar. That's fantastic, isn't it? You never thought. Rowing umpires are in uproar after being told they were not allowed under British rowing policy. Can they still call them a cocks? They were not allowed to, under British policy, to question the gender of any junior competitors. Quote, if we have a crew of what we think are junior boys and yet they declare as junior girls, said one, then we just have to accept it. It's insane. It's utterly insane. So, you know, they've destroyed it. It's just insane. There is a group of people and we are having a national conversation about this crap. Because people have gone mental, right? They've gone, whoo, I'm away with the fairies. They're off. Gone mental, okay? If we have a crew of what we think are junior boys and they declare as junior girls, then we just have to accept it. I don't think that this policy is going to be plain sailing. Canoe with the moonlight. Stop it. Right. So... ahead of Friday's crucial vote on the future of British rowing's transgender policy, you don't need a vote. Oh, fucking wankers. Several umpires listened in horror to being informed that they would not be permitted under the governing body's rules to incorporate gender into their assessment of fairness. Men's rights movement, isn't it? Except men's rights paddling. Right, this is the men's rights paddling movement. I'll paddle you if I go on here. That's what you need, a good paddling. I can't, it's just... Oh, isn't it awful? Stop. Right. The message sparked such consternation that umpires expressed fears after the meeting that it would make a mockery of Henley Women's Regatta next month. Well, it will. Caroline Turner, who has umpired in 3 different regions, sounds like a euphemism, right, was amongst those present. She said, as umpires, our primary concerns are supposed to be safety and fairness. We have that drummed into us. So if you are umpiring a race and something untoward happens, something untoward, you can interpret the rules to ensure fairness. If you see something clearly unfair, you can change what would normally be standard procedure in order to make it fair. And yet the fundamental issue of fairness around trans women, we're not allowed to question. Welcome to the fight, umpires. Right? I have a funny feeling. The umpires strike back. The umpires strike back. Umpires worry that the Henley's Women's Regatta, which began in 1988 as a response to the absence of women's events at Henley Royal at the time, would be left especially vulnerable to abuse of British rowing's policy. The Thames region does not religiously check the competitors in each race. We only have to look at them. Turner said, and there is junior under 16 rowing at Henley Women's. So if you have a 10 qualifier crews at Henley Rowing, There will be a time trial a few days beforehand, and if you have boys able to row with girls, then it is likely to be all-boy winners, in which case they'll have a girls' team that's all boys. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when we practice to deceive. All you have to do is take a look at their boat race face, right? You can tell, you know. You know what I mean? You know. It is totally ridiculous that you could have a whole category Henley women's being boys. They would only have to be a second boat standard, depending on when they've had their growth spurt. I coach juniors, 14 and 15-year-old boys. If you were to select those who have gone through puberty, even the very best J16 girls wouldn't have a chance against them at all. Why is this? What's going on, right? So what they've done is, they've done what every other organisation's done, is they've let gender nutters in. The TQ nutters have got in, right? Probably via, who have they got in via? I don't know, Stonewall or somebody's back passage, right? They've got in, right? And this is what they do, disruption. Why can't people see this? Just don't engage with them. If they start rabbiting on about gender identity and queer theory and all the crap that comes with it, just get rid of them. Okay, you're gone. I'll sue you. Okay, bye-bye. Take the hit. Right, the historical evidence bears this out. In 2008, the British women's quad, selected for Beijing Olympics, staged a warm-up race against a crew of 15-year-old boys from the local William Borlase school. This is all about muddied folk, mind, you know. The women lost. It is up to Claire McIntosh and the Henley's Women's Committee to consider whether biological males can race in defiance of British rowing to protect the regatta's integrity. As it stands, umpires must accept whatever gender is entered for a junior rower on the British rowing online entry system called Bro. Sign up, Bro. Right? But with juniors, their parents can enter their information for them, and Turner, who expressed concern that the system was open to being exploited. If you get a medal and you can apply to universities, they won't ask what type of medal you got. The rowing system is such that it would just say, yes, this person has won a Henley medal as a junior. They can steal the girls' awards. That means, depending on the university, that you could receive £1,000, £2,000 or £3,000 as a bursary or as a rowing scholarship. So there is a financial motivation for the boys to do this. No! Stop it! A lot of umpires are very uncomfortable. I don't know whether they mean generally or just because of this. Is being an umpire uncomfortable? Do tell me in the rubrics. A lot of umpires are very uncomfortable. All the questions are based around the unfairness of it all, and that just shouldn't be happening. The fact that trans women can make an ass out of the law means that the law needs to be changed. Yes. British rowing policy mandates that trans rowers over the age of 16 can only compete in the female category if they prove their testosterone. We're into the proving the testosterone crap stuff. No! Stop it! Stop bloody meeting these people halfway on something that can't be both-sided. If you're born a male, you don't compete in female sport. Stop. And I don't care if it's, darts, right? Or stroke the kitten marathons. I don't care, right? We segregate by sex for a reason, and we need to keep doing it. God, we need this Equality Act to say that sex means sex, don't we? And not just that, we need to repeal the GRA. So there's now pressure on British rowing to defy world rowing by ensuring that women's races are reserved solely for those born female. It's absolutely extraordinary, isn't it? I've got the funny feeling, while the rest of the world's going mad, that Britain's heading in the right direction, and we'll do what we've always done, we'll lead. We'll get these TQ plus nutters out, we'll alter laws in order to make reality important, and we can get back to doing what we do so bloody well, which is being a successful country that exports stuff around the world that helps everyone. The same as most successful countries. Instead of having rowing teams farting about and sticking their oar in. I think we need a world in which there are more jokes about rowing. Don't you? Hey? Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Genders on the team. That's it. Rowing. Who'd have thought? Go well.